Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And they just will not stop. We've got the media interviewing Tom Felton, who played Malfoy in the original Harry Potter movies. He's reprising his role as an adult Draco Malfoy in the Cursed Child Broadway play, which I thought was actually kind of cool.
Yes.
And so they're talking to him. He's all smiles. And then, of course, they go there. They start asking him about JK Rowling's political opinions. And they were trying to, I believe, trap him. I think they were trying to get him to...
Why would they ask him that otherwise?
Yeah, like, what does that have to... Like, you're here at the, whatever, the Tonys or whatever. The show's on Broadway. They're making new Harry Potter. They're making new theme park attractions. They got freaking goldfish crackers, which now I want some because I'm thinking about them again. I freaking love those things. And Legos and all that stuff. But yeah, let's corner Tom Felton and be like, why are you such a bigot, Tom?
Because he's the one that's not out there actively, vocally, denouncing Rowling at all turns. And so we're going to put him on the spot in front of everyone. So he has to.
Yeah.
Make sure that he, passes the purity test.
And repent.
Instead he handles it in a very diplomatic way. And they're all pissed about it.
This is very much like Malfoy in the movies. It's like, oh, you got to kill Dumbledore, right? That's what you got to do to prove your loyalty. You got to do it. But
he's just like, I'm not falling for this shit.
Yeah, I think he knows the game. And he's one of the few, I mean, most of the kid actors, well, at least the Gryffindors, they all turned on her at some point. People were like, well, they just have a difference of opinion. I'm like, no, Radcliffe and Watson, for sure. They've been very vocal about it. And from her point of view, it's kind of like, hey, yeah, you little assholes. I helped pick you, cast you, and basically made you. And this is, you don't have to agree with me, but you don't have to throw me under the bus either.
No.
And so he's very diplomatic about it, but they've already got all the headlines. It's already like, it's so disappointing. They're all mad about it. And it's so disappointing.
I think if they want to go out there publicly and say things about Rowling and say they hate her, I mean, that's their choice to do so, and they aren't part of that anymore. If they are genuinely upset, they have the right to say so. But other people have the right to not get involved, or to say nothing, or to say the opposite. If they have a right to say what they want to say, so does he. And basically, he's just been trying to stay out of it because he's just like, it's not really my place, kind of thing. And they're mad. They're salty because he would not throw under the bus like everybody else.
Yeah, so let's talk about that, and then we're going to talk about the casting, because a lot of people were hoping that they would maybe cast him as Lucius Malfoy. He's old enough to play Lucius now, which is mind-boggling when you think about it. But they're hoping he would play Lucius. They already cast another Lucius, but it's very interesting, especially after yesterday's video, that everybody looks like their book counterparts.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's pretty interesting. So
there are some differences, but yeah.
We'll get there. We'll get there. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
Let's watch this clip, and then we're going to go out and see what all's going on here. All the things that people are saying about him. Have you watched this clip yet?
No, but I saw what he said. Like, I saw a transcript of it.
Okay, he's all smiles now. Wait until this reporter asks him the question.
How does the sort of Twitterverse controversy around JK Rowling's views impact you at all, or impact?
Look at that! Look at his face now. He's like, "Oh shit, here it comes."
Like, here we go. I get serious now because
your work on the world at all?
No, I can't say it does. I'm not really that attuned to it. The only thing I always remind myself is that I've been lucky enough to travel the world. Here I am in New York, and I have not seen anything bring the world together more than Potter. And she's responsible for that, so I'm incredibly grateful.
Yeah, he knows he just slapped that bitch down.
Yeah, he's like, I'm grateful to have this opportunity, and I don't get involved in it, but I at least I owe her this opportunity. So he didn't like throw her under the bus, but he didn't say she was right either. He just said,
right,
it brings Harry Potter brings people together, and I'm very blessed to have this chance, and I don't pay attention to much of that, so.
I think that is actually the politically correct response. Unfortunately, that's not enough. You can see some of the comments here. I'm not attuned to it. In other words, it doesn't affect me, so I can't bring myself to care.
That's not what he meant. He meant I don't pay attention to the day to day. Basically, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
I don't follow it closely. Is the vibe I got.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think he's like, well, I'm still part of Potter. I know he does the convention circuit and stuff, and a lot of people are happy to see him come back to Cursed Child. And I've heard from people that actually do know him or have been around him that he actually is one of the nicest people that you'd ever meet. And especially,
he seems like he would be.
He's playing the villain, but they said he actually tried out. I believe he tried out for Harry Potter, and they thought he looked too, I guess, I don't know, smug for the role or whatever. They're just like, you don't have that waif energy, that poor orphan energy about you. You look like a rich kid. So that's, but he was great as Malfoy. Let's go out and see what some of the idiots in the newsosphere are saying. Here are some of the headlines, some of the dumb headlines we've got. Tom Felton expresses support for JK Rowling.
No, he
All he
didn't.
said was, I don't pay much attention to it, but I'm where I'm at right now because of the world she made.
I'm glad to be here.
I'm glad to be here.
Basically, I don't pay attention, but I'm glad to be here. But his answer was, he didn't say either way.
Yeah. Harry Potter actor stands by JK Rowling. He didn't really. I mean, that's the thing. And I think that if you don't want to wade into the discussion, I think this is probably the correct way to answer. Just be like, look, I don't really pay much attention to what she's saying, not saying, but I know that, I've got my career because of her. So, but you can see a look on his face. He's just like,
I mean, why would they try to do that anyway? Because these journalists are perpetually triggered assholes that want confirmation on everything they do. And if you don't agree with them, see, everything they complain about the people doing, they themselves do. If you don't agree with them, then they actively try to destroy you for not agreeing with them, and then complain that everybody's trying to destroy them. Everybody's intolerant of me and what my lifestyle as they turn around and be intolerant of everybody else. And all the dude said was, I don't pay attention that much. I don't want to get into that right now. I don't want to get involved in it. But hey, I'm lucky to get to be here, and I got my career because of Harry Potter. So there's that. That's all he said.
There's nothing wrong with what he said. I think that was the correct. I mean, it wasn't like he's like, yeah, and I hate trans people too. That is not
he didn't disparage anyone.
He didn't disparage anyone like that. And that's the it's kind of the same with the girl who played is it Vanna Lynch, I think, plays Luna Lovegood, and she didn't, if I remember correctly, she did not throw Rowling under the bus either. I know a lot of the adult actors on Harry Potter, and a lot of them unfortunately are no longer with us, but they didn't throw her away either. But then we've already got the situation with new Snape already kind of low key throwing shade at her, which we'll talk more about the casting. For those of you who missed the video yesterday, there is a rumor going around, and it's hit like 5 or 6 Harry Potter news outlets. The word is that Papa Sidhu is not going to be Snape. We don't know if he got pushed out, if he chose to leave,
but it's
or
all
what
rumor.
the hell. It's all rumor at this point. It is rumor at this point, but it did make headlines that he was openly against JK Rowling and her views a month ago. So
yeah, that's not a good look. I get cast for Harry Potter, but I'm going to go out and start shit. Doesn't look.
And I'm also going to take the check at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I mean, that was that's a weird look.
Honestly, Tom Felton's response to me seemed like somebody who has been coached in proper PR. Techniques and how to sidestep issues. That was definitely a masterclass in how to actually handle these things that celebrities used to handle all the time, and now they just step in it.
Yeah, and it's easier to step in it too, because back in the day, you used to be in a controlled environment. You go on a talk show or something, you do a radio show. They'd have the PR person coaching you before you go on. Sometimes they would actually have them sitting right there off stage to make sure you didn't say anything stupid, and they would cut to commercials or whatever if you're doing something
journalists like this one are out to ambush you, and that's exactly what they tried to do. And there's no other reason to do it other than to be a dick.
Yeah, that was it. And he basically wanted a gotcha moment. Like, here's your chance, Tom. Prove that you're not actually Slytherin. But we got headlines like this. This come from The Independent. Harry Potter fans tear into Tom Felton's response to JK Rowling's anti-trans views. He just said he doesn't pay much attention to it.
Yeah, he didn't say anything wrong.
Yeah, this is what privilege looks like. We should ignore how much harm looking the other way does because things don't affect us. Another said, that's the problem, ain't it? People not caring about issues that don't impact them. So he's saying he's choosing to actively ignore the lives of queer people that are being endangered by her views.
Wait. People want to ignore the issues that don't impact them. Okay, I'm a woman. It totally fucking impacts me with the discussion. You don't hear anything about trans dudes. You never hear much of anything about that. You know, tampons in the bathroom, whoopee ding dong. You don't hear much about that. But it's always about trans women. And I have absolutely no problem with a lot of trans women I know who are completely fine. They think it's bullshit too. But you get these activists, it's either these really far left people, or a lot of times they aren't even trans people themselves, going and screaming about, you know, the sports issue, for example. Does it impact me and women that they're letting trans women be in sports? Hell yes. But you're not allowed to say anything. The only opinion you're allowed to have is that it's okay because otherwise you're just a bigot. You're a turf. You want to look the other way. It's like bullshit. That's bullshit. The only thing you care about is everybody agrees with you, because you cannot accept that not everything is not about you. It's like most people don't care about people being trans. They don't give two shits. It's because you guys keep pushing this agenda stuff. And I'm sorry, that's when people start drawing the line.
They start drawing the line. They start drawing the line when things get like weirdly militant. I mean, that's
it's probably like, put things anyway.
Whoa, okay. I'm trying to think of a clever.
There's no cleverness needed here. I mean, you know.
Cornholio, Bungholio.
I don't think that's not even clever.
Wrong franchise.
But I'm just like saying, it's like, you know, if it doesn't impact you, it's like, but even if it does impact you, you're not allowed to say anything. It's bullshit. It has been the place that women aren't allowed to have any opinion on it other than agreeing with them, because they are harassed and bullied. And it's like by people, and a lot of times it's not even the trans women themselves, because there's a lot of trans women out there that thinks this whole thing's bullshit too.
Yeah,
I can tell you for a personal fact.
I would like to think that most people, trans or not, would just kind of like to be left to live their lives. And, you know, it's just you have a vocal minority of people that are, in some cases, like literally militant activists.
Yeah, if you don't push their cause or promote what they want, they believe or what they want, then everybody's against them. It's like people don't have to sit there, right? Like, people don't have to sit there and promote your shit 24/7. He shouldn't have been jumped at an event, you know, about this whole thing that really is nothing to do with him. He should, you know, if you're mad at JK Rowling, that you can be mad at JK Rowling. You're allowed to be. I get it. She doesn't stop tweeting. I can understand why some of the things she says rubs people the wrong way. I get it. But that being said, not everybody associated with her in any way, it should have to be put on a spot, or should have to, you know, give the purity quotes that you believe in that side with you, or they're bad people and they're ambushed and they have to put up with this shit. I'm sorry. I would say if it was the other way around too.
So he actually, I mean, look, I think his response, I mean, this reminds me of. His
response was totally fair.
But they've tried to get him before. I mean, this is really interesting because he's one of the only child actors on the show that, you know, again, I think Luna Lovegood too. And the other ones, honestly, I'm not trying to be a dick, but most of the other ones, nobody gives a shit about, right? It's like they care about Luna, they care about Malfoy, they care about the trio, but they don't really care about, you know, the other kids. They probably can't remember their names, right? Rowling said that she told them to save their apologies. She's not going to forgive him because, I mean, she literally helped pick at least the trio when they did the original movies, and they did a heel turn. I mean, they could have like privately. I think she said that she's like, you know, they could have like privately come to me with concerns. They didn't do it. They went to the media and were like, yeah, we hate her.
No, because they want that attention. They want to make this big public show of everything for attention and for accolades and for people to kiss their ass. And it's like, some people just don't want to get involved. And it's totally fair to not want to get involved. He's basically was trying to say in a nice way, I don't want to get involved in this, you know, and I'm grateful for the opportunities I've gotten. And I don't really want to speak ill of somebody. It doesn't mean he agrees with her. It just means that he doesn't want to say something that's, you know, a turn for, you know, for him because of the opportunities he's been given, and he wants to show that he appreciates it, but doesn't mean he agrees with her either. Doesn't mean he disagrees with her. He was very diplomatic, and then they were like, they all have to run with it and make a mountain out of a molehill, which was he was set up to do. And I'm so damn tired of this. Just kind of get bent.
they tried to do it a couple of years ago too. In 2022, he said, "I couldn't speak for what others have said
Yes,
or what
I remember,
she said,
yeah.
to be honest, but I'm often reminded, attending Comic-Cons in particular, that no one has single-handedly done more for bringing joy to so many different generations and walks of life. I'm constantly reminded of her positive work in that field and as a person. I've only had a handful of meetings with her, but she's always been lovely. I'm very grateful for that." He also added, I'm pro-choice, I'm pro-life, I'm pro-discussion, I'm pro-love. I don't pick sides. I won't talk specifics, but I enjoy remind myself and others that a lot of my good friends have ways of life or personal decisions I don't necessarily agree with. We should enjoy celebrating each other's differences.
Right. You can be friends with people who don't agree with you. It's completely, it's completely doable.
Yeah. And he said that he told ET Canada, they asked him the same thing. Like, how much? I mean, they're basically going to try to break him.
Until he gives the proper statement. They're going to keep harassing him until he says what they want to hear.
Yeah, he said
there is bullying, and it's toxic behavior.
He said he doesn't have a reaction to the controversy, stating, "I didn't even know it was a thing." And they're like, other people are saying things, and they're like, John Lithgow didn't care, Janet McTeer, Papa Asidu, Nick Russell, Papa Asidu. That's why I'm like, I wouldn't have run with that rumor we reported on yesterday, but JK Rowling herself addressed it, and she basically said, "I'm not in charge of casting." I think if she was, she'd probably be like, "What the fuck?" Like, what the fuck is going on here? If I had to guess. He's just grateful for the opportunity. And you can be grateful, again, you can be grateful for the opportunity and not necessarily agree with something somebody's saying.
He's being diplomatic, trying not to take a side, trying not to throw anyone on the bus on either side. Like, I don't always agree with my friends, and that could include, Rowling. But sometimes, we can think different things and still be friends. And it's like, I try to stay out of it, basically is what he's saying. And I'm just really grateful for the opportunities. And, I'm very happy to be part of something that unites so many people. He's trying to be like, let's more unite us than divides us. And like, let's try to find common ground. I mean, I did not get anything malicious out of this.
No. And this is Chelsea Stewart here at BuzzFeed. Is that a real person? Who the hell knows? Tom Felton was asked for his thoughts about the ongoing controversy around JK Rowling that the media keeps perpetuating, because normies love Harry Potter. They're buying it in droves. How come you're not protesting Barnes & Noble? They have a whole freaking Harry Potter section.
Well, they're like, I can't lie. His response is disappointing to you.
It's disappointing.
And here's the thing. Y'all are the vocal minority. I guarantee you this, because most people either don't know about it or give a shit. Okay, you just keep trying to trip up, and basically, what they're telling you is they are going to keep harassing him until he gives the proper response. Because you have to be tolerant of all their opinions and beliefs and everything they represent and how they feel about themselves. But they don't have to be tolerant about jack shit on the other end. And that right there tells me everything I need to know. And if you can't have a discussion without being a complete fucking toxic asshole, then you can just go get bent. Because everybody's tired of it. He said nothing against trans people, nor did he say anything against JK Rowling. He's just like, basically, like, I don't want to, like, basically leave me alone. I don't want to be in the middle of this. He's like, I'm happy to be here. I want to promote things that bring people joy and that unite. I don't want to be part of the division. And you all won't stop till he's part of the division, because you personally have your panties up your ass and are mad about it.
The top...
Vaggioso?
Is that what you said?
Weggioso, but Vaggioso.
Oh, Weggioso. I thought you said Vaggioso. I'm like,
Weggioso, but Vaggioso was even better.
I think Vaggioso is a feminine hygiene product. And now we talked about it. Now we're going to see it on streaming. Like, Mom, my crotch is smelly. Use Vaggioso. It makes the smell disappear.
Who's
Ta-da! Magic. You put the magic wand in and it just all disappears. Okay. Anyway. How the hell did we get here? Top comment on BuzzFeed: leave the man alone. The franchise was a huge part of him growing up. It still is. I respect him for refusing to disrespect the woman who essentially shaped his career. You don't always have to share the same opinion with someone, but at least respect them. So the person...
No, you don't have to respect anybody unless you're agreeing with them. That's the only way you get respect.
This person here says he's an actor, not a politician. I'm sick of celebrities being asked to grandstand and opine on all social and political matters. I honestly don't care what any of them think. Leave them in peace. This other person, these are all the top comments on BuzzFeed. I think he was being very honest and courteous in his response.
I think he was being very, very, very polite. Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I love this. BuzzFeed posts a lot of Harry Potter content, despite it and its writers allegedly being very anti-JK, and that's pretty trash behavior indeed, if you ask me. Yes, they do. They'll bet on Harry Potter content. I mean, it's the same with these.
They play both sides because they don't get views either way, outrage views or agreeing views.
These gaming journos that were all like, boycott the game. Oh, you didn't boycott the game? Oh, it sold a lot of copies. Hogwarts Legacy is the top selling game of the year. Okay, here's a strategy guide. If you're gonna buy it, I'll show you how to beat it.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Either way.
Exactly. It's like you don't get to say about how you're the ethical and moral high ground when you have nothing you stand for, no values whatsoever. You can't say you stand for something else.
So there are more casting choices and being revealed. And unfortunately, he's not playing Lucius Malfoy. I think that would have been amazing if he was. That would have been awesome.
That would have been cool.
He's not. But I'm looking at this cast. I'm like, they all look the part. Just saying. People were in the comments even. They said that the sore thumb is Papa Sidu, because not only beyond skin color, like he doesn't even, the whole, like everything about him doesn't scream Snape at all. Like he doesn't.
No.
I mean, if he was like some wiry, skinny, sickly looking dude, maybe.
Yeah.
It's like,
I just don't understand that. That's like one that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
No, but so the thing is, I feel bad for any actor attached to this, because for the next, and this is a 10-year project, right? For the next 10 years, everybody associated with this show, even the kids, probably especially the kids, are going to get asked the same dumbass question by these journos for a decade. They're going to be like,
yeah, because
why'd you take the job?
No answer counts unless it's what they want to hear. You have to be, like I said, again, tolerant and courteous and all about them and worry about their issues 24/7. And you're a bad person if you aren't thinking about what they deal with all the time. Yeah. And it's like, you know what? There's so many other things people deal with, and you have zero tolerance yourself. So suck it.
Yeah.
So do not harass the kids, especially. Do not.
I am so worried about those kids. I gotta tell you,
the kids,
I'm
especially.
very worried. Very worried about them, because they will. The people will. People are crazy, and they'll harass the kids. They'll send threats to the kids. I'm like, I don't even know if you could send some of these kids to like comic conventions or anything, because it's like they're gonna get harassed. It's like, how does it feel to have blood money on your hand? Meh. It's like, come on. It's just, I don't know. Why aren't you harassing Lego? Why aren't you harassing Nabisco? Why aren't you harassing Oreo? Why is it just like, it's like, come on, just knock it up. Don't watch the damn show. Don't watch the show.
That's what they tell you. That's what they tell us. It's not for you then. It's not, you're not target demographic. Just don't watch it then. And then, but that doesn't, but again, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. And that's what makes me mad, because like, he did nothing to warrant the behavior that we're seeing. And so bad that people in the comments are even calling it out. So
you know what helps you take it easier? Baggioso. That's one of the unintentional side effects. Yes. Just so you know.
Oh, is that how you get blood on your hands? I'm sorry.
Fagios. Anyway, are we going to wrap this up? Let's wrap this up. I don't even know what to talk. It's just, I mean, he knows the drill. This is not the first time he's been asked. And, I just love, like, as soon as they ask the question, he's like, he's all like, hey, I'd like to talk to you. Then it's like, here it comes. Like, oh God.
He's like, God. Oh, here we go. And he's like,
here we go.
He literally, this poor literally sucked all the joy out of the room in like seconds.
That's what they do. And then he realized he gave a good response. And he's like, yep, there you go, guys. There it is. Suck on that.
I want to look at, to make sure, look, I'm taking this question very seriously. So there's my serious face. Yes. And
He's
then he smiled like, okay, well, here we go. So it was funny.
Yeah, like I'm very concerned about your feelings. It's like, no, he's an actor. He's just like, yeah, I don't give a shit. I would love to know what's going through his head. Like, shut the fuck up. Just like,
I'm sure he didn't want to be asked that. He was getting tired of being asked that. But what I've heard was he actually does care about people's feelings, and he's a very nice person.
Yes.
But that's what I've heard. So
the
I'm
irony
sorry to him that I swore and said bad things, but these people deserve it.
The irony in most of Slytherin being more respectable in some ways than the rest of the Potter cast, whatever. Anyway, are we going to wrap it up?
Yes.
Let's wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.